Good morning and welcome to our in-person service today. Just a few things to note that will be different during our in-person services as we try to maintain safety precautions. We will not be passing a basket for our offerings. Instead, you may drop your offering in the basket at the table at the rear of the sanctuary, if you have not already done so. And in the interest of your privacy, we will share joys and concerns at the end of the service after we have stopped recording. Joys and concerns cards are available on the back table for you to jot down what you would like to share with us. These things are one way for us to fulfill our covenant to care for one another. And one more reminder, which I haven't had to make for a couple of years, please silence your cell phones. Let us begin. Welcome to San Gabriel Unitarian Universalist Fellowship. My name is Mary Abbey, and I serve on your board of trustees as the past president. Come, come, wherever you are, whoever you are, worshiper or wanderer. We welcome all of you to our service, especially those of you that are searching for a spiritual home. Many of us were once seeking for something larger than ourselves to which we could belong, a sense of rootedness to hold us as we create meaning together. We strive to do that in this congregation. It is our custom to light our Unitarian Universalist symbol of faith, the flaming chalice. We do so today with the words of Martha Kirby Capo. Through the week, this chalice abides, cupped and silent. Softly it gleams in a dimly lit room, complete unto itself. Today we come together as a community of faith, joyful and free. Our individual energies combine to spark the flame of the truth. May we each draw strength from the other, and like the chalice, may we be bathed in the fire of commitment to social justice, equity, and peace. Now our in-gathering song is hymn number 128, For All That Is Our Life. Although we cannot sing out loud together at this time, feel free to follow along using the gray hymnal or just hum along. Today we are pleased to have the Reverend Erin J. Walter in our pulpit. She is minister, activist, and musician based in Austin, Texas. She is the winner of the 2017 Sermon Award from the UU Women's Federation. She serves as the affiliated community minister for Wildflower Church in Austin. And Reverend Erin is now the minister and executive director of the Texas UU Justice Ministry, and we'll speak of that today on our Side with Love Sunday.
Good morning. It is absolutely glorious to be back here with you in this space after more than 2 years. I have such fond memories of rocking out here with y'all and of being with you, and so I'm so thankful to be back and grateful for the invitation, especially on Side with Love Sunday. The Texas UU Justice Ministry has been so excited to be working with the Side with Love team as we are getting into this year of justice making. For our opening words this morning, what's on my heart to do with you is to do a prayer or a meditation, a grounding, however you would like to think of it. So I invite you to join me in taking a breath, connecting to your spirit of life, your highest or deepest meaning. Spirit of life and love, I ask healing this morning. I have a family member, as we speak, in brain surgery in Denver, and I lift up her name, Cindy, and for all of her medical team. And I share this not because I need you to worry about me, the minister, but because in human connection, I know that we all bring so much on a Sunday morning that we might not be saying. And so I just ask the Spirit of life to surround everyone here and all that we know and love in the spirit of healing. For anyone who may feel estranged, lonely, in need of forgiveness, in need of purpose, may our love go to them as we seek love and comfort for ourselves as well. May today be a day of good news. Amen, and blessed be. Thank you.
Our affirmation reminds us who we are in fellowship and of our sacred covenant to each other. Please join in reading our affirmation. The doctrine of this church is love. The quest of truth is sacrament, and service is its prayer. To dwell together in peace, to seek knowledge in freedom, to serve humanity in fellowship, to the end that all souls shall grow in harmony with the divine. Thus do we covenant with each other. And now, it's time for the Wonderbox. Our Director of Religious Education, Karina, has a story for all ages. I wonder, what is in the Wonderbox today?
What could it be? It's lovely to be with you this morning, those of you here in the sanctuary and also at home. It's lovely to be with you. So, you have an opportunity to make a guess. Let's use our wondering minds and help one another learn and grow. You can make a shout from where you are, and if you're at home, you can tell someone near you what you think might be in here. Pretty loud. What's that? A trophy. Interesting. Heart-shaped rock. Tomorrow, what is tomorrow? Yes. Any other guesses? A smaller box, yes. All right, we're going to open it up. And someone was very close. Yes, I've got 2 little hearts in there. And they, of course, are a symbol of love. And the story I'm about to share with you is from a very familiar song to many of us. And it has the word love in it. But as you listen to the story, look closely at the pictures, because the pictures are doing something different from the words. So I'll come back and reflect on that with you in just a second. But here's the story.
based on the song by Bob Marley, One Love, adapted by Cedella Marley, illustrated by Vanessa Brantley Newton, and shared with permission by Chronicle Books. One love, one heart, let's get together and feel all right. One love, what my family gives to me. One love, what the flower gives the bee. One love, what Mother Earth gives the tree. One love, one heart, let's get together and feel all right. One heart, like the birds, I long to be free. One love, like the river, runs to the sea. One heart, like the music, just feel the beat. Let's get together and feel all right. One love, when your hand reaches out for me. One heart, when we touch, a new world we'll see. One love, one heart, let's get together and feel all right. The end.
And so you saw that the people in the story and the pictures were making a park together and cleaning and making something together. And I think it was Dr. Cornell West who said, justice is what love looks like in public. And we have a way of expressing love in so many different contexts and here in our congregation. When we strengthen one another through the love we share here, then that allows us to bring that into the larger world. And I thought that story was a great way to express that. We'll talk more about that in our RE time today, and we'll also have a little bit of Valentine's fun together. So many happy Valentines to all of you at home as well, and I hope to see you soon. Thanks, Erin.
I always have to lower that after Karina. This is the time in our service when we would normally collect the offering. Instead, please use the basket at the back of the sanctuary, or you could always mail in your donation. San Gabriel UU Fellowship is grateful to all for your giving of time, talents, and financial support. Today is Side with Love Sunday. You can show your love for others by supporting our Texas UU Justice Ministry. Information appears on this slide and in the closing slides as to how you can make a donation to Texas UU Justice Ministry. And now for our musical interlude. For our interlude today, Jackie will play a rendition of the song Stand By Me. As we listen to the music, take a moment to ponder our Soul Matters theme for February, which is widening our circle.
I want to say a special good morning to our folks who may be watching from home. This morning I got up, I made pancakes, I walked the dog, and I said to my children, "See you later, I'm going to work, and then I'm going to band practice," and they were like, "But you do that at home." I said, no, I'm gonna get to go be in Georgetown in person today. And for those of you at home, I just honor that you are here and we are together as well in spirit. And I'm so grateful to our Unitarian Universalist leaders, lay leaders, staff at the national level for the ways that we have been working to make this faith accessible to everyone in this time. It is truly one of the silver linings and something that we needed well before the pandemic. And now we will have, moving forward, that access. So welcome again to church wherever you are. The Texas Unitarian Universalist Justice Ministry thanks you for the ways that you have supported justice work in Texas over the last 10 years with us. And boy, does Texas need it. Texas needs every single one of us to be making justice a spiritual practice day in and day out, to understand that whatever we can do, whatever we can give is needed and valued and is a part of something much bigger than just each of us or even each of our congregations. And so that is really what the Texas Unitarian Universalist Justice Ministry is about, to bring a statewide voice to all of the wonderful and important work that you all are doing at the local level as well, and to bring the national work home to us and keep all of that connected. So I just want to thank you for having me, and thank you for the ways you've been supporting TechSujum over the years. On behalf of the board, on behalf of the advisory council, which includes your own Lou Sneed, thank you to Lou. Now, I said TechSujum. Like many things in Unitarian Universalism, we have a lot of words, and it's a mouthful. And so we were talking earlier about how to say it. You know, you can say the Texas Unitarian Universalist Justice Ministry. I often heard my predecessor, my dear friend and colleague, the Reverend Chuck Freeman, the founding executive director, I often heard him say it TechSujum. So like pronouncing the acronym. So I invite us all to say, I know we're not singing out loud, but I bet we could whisper in our masks or say it out at home, TechSujum. Will you say it with me? TechSujum. So that's how I'm saying it. Or you can always just say the Justice Ministry or our Justice Ministry, because it is our Justice Ministry. It's been 2 years, at least, since we've been together in our yellow shirts at the Capitol. And we have been missed. I want you to know that. There was a time, I will confess, that I'm a lifelong Unitarian Universalist. I grew up at First UU in Austin, and it has been an incredible joy to see congregations grow over the decades in Central Texas, to not have there just be one. So, but that's my UU roots, is First UU in Austin. And I will confess that there have been times when I wondered, how much good exactly did it do to all show up in yellow shirts? Yellow is my favorite color, so I will keep doing it. But I wondered, are we doing enough? Or what does this mean just to show up in our yellow shirts? And I will tell you, I am more deeply convicted than ever that it is important that we show up, that we are visible, we are missed when we're not there. The folks that we are alongside have come to expect us, Unitarian Universalists, in our yellow shirts, and our support is felt and needed. Now, I know that we can't all show up in person, too. So again, I give thanks for the ways that we are learning to do virtual ministry, virtual activism, phone banks, texting, emails, letters, the times that we are testifying online. So there are so many ways to be doing this now. And I just want to affirm to you that I know, and I will never question again after this pandemic, how important it is that we as Unitarian Universalists be visible in our justice ministry. In these 2 years that things have been a bit fallow, especially with dear Reverend Chuck's health struggling over this past year and a half, and I thank you for your support of him and the love you've been sending him. In this time of fallowness, we know that that also means seeds have been planted. Seeds are growing, opening. Something is being born into the world. And I tell you that it is the next chapter of our Texas UU Justice Ministry, the next chapter of our activism in a full expression that is a beautiful, like a rainbow, a butterfly, all the colors, the sunrise, all of it, because we will be expressing it by showing up in person safely, by doing things virtually from home as we can, by organizing with our partners on the front lines, with our national Side with Love, UUA, UU the Vote folks, with the most micro on the ground in your community, in Georgetown folks. We are going to be doing the spectrum of this work. And we are doing it, and I'm excited to tell you some about it. Part of it is the spiritual practice of knowing that this is generations, never-ending work. And so what I want the young folks to know that Karina's working with is that we support them, and groundwork has been laid, and we are here with them. And what I want the elders, my mom, still at First UU, and the generations beyond her to know is that we are taking, and we are not going to give up. So I want you to rest easy. Those of you who are elders, I know that it's hard. It looks like some of the rights that you fought for are being lost, and it is devastating. I don't want to sugarcoat that. And I need to tell you that we will not let that be. We will keep fighting always for those rights. And so things are a journey. It's been a roller coaster these last few years. Texas is tough. Racist gerrymandering, bigoted voter suppression, those things are real. And so we have work to do. But I promise you, as the leader of your state justice ministry, we will not let despair take us. So, some of the ways that we do that, I want you to know. You know I'm a musician, so we lean into our music. We lean into the movements, the moments of joy. I've been walking my dog. I actually spend most of my time in Bastrop now, so I'm more of a smaller town, historic downtown girl than I was last time I saw you. But I walk my dog and I sing to myself the hymn from our hymnal, Wo Ya Ya. We are going, heaven knows how we are going, but we know within, and we'll get there. Heaven knows how we will get there, but we know we will. And this part's important for Texas. It will be hard, we know, and the road will be muddy and rough, but we'll get there. Heaven knows how we will get there, but we know we will. And so I ask you to find yourself a song, whatever it is, and I've got a few. If you need a suggestion, I'll give you some, but I think you know. Find a song for you in the moments when you're not so sure, that you keep in your heart, or find a friend that you can text and say, I'm not sure I believe that we'll get there today. Because we have to be honest when it's hard, and we have to ask for support. But you might text a friend. I might Wave at Michelle in Zumba, and I might say, Michelle, I'm not sure we're gonna get there today. And I need Michelle to say back to me, we will get there. Will you tell me from the back, Michelle, we will get there?
We will get there.
Amen. Thank you. So I want you to find your Michelle, and I want you to find your song, because it is a joy to be a Texan, even with the struggles, and we are going to bring this state along, because what we also know is that what's represented is often not truly the will of the people. This is a diverse, beautiful state with a lot of heart for human rights, a lot of heart for the land. We are a people, even with a lot of differences, who love the earth and love this state and love this land. And that is a place where we can find some commonalities, perhaps, with some folks who might not share all the same beliefs or values as us. We have to find those places where we can work together and love together. So as we have been doing what I call action hours with UU the Vote, with the Texas UU Justice Ministry, Side with Love, these action hours have had the phrase, giving life the shape of justice, which I love. It's good to have a mantra. And also in these action hours, we've been doing some phone banking. Some of you have done it. I may have become a little bit addicted to phone banking. It's such an amazing thing that you log into a website, you log in as, the UU section, and you click call Dallas voters, and they give you a script, and your phone connects, and you call and you remind Dallas voters about early voting. Early voting starts tomorrow. Talk about justice is what love looks like in public. For Valentine's Day tomorrow, I encourage you to go early vote, and I encourage you to make sure that someone you love is early voting. But in these calls, we've been, there's another phrase that says, we call and we say that we're volunteering with Reclaim Our Vote, because that's one of the overarching organizations. And what that got me thinking about is my desire to reclaim our capital. The Texas Capitol is a place that I love so much. I remember singing with some of you in the rotunda. I remember being there with Reverend Chuck. And so I wanted to invite us today in that spirit of reclaiming and the spirit of emerging, not knowing exactly what this next phase of life with COVID is going to look like for us as activists, as community organizers, as people of love and faith. I want to invite us to go there together in our hearts and minds this morning. I'm a person of a lot of energy, and it's easy for me to get very hype about things, but I want so much in this time to be also grounded in what we are doing. And so I want to invite you, if you can get even at home or here, even 1% more comfortable, as my friend Reverend Kim from a congregation in New Jersey says, if you can get even 1% more comfortable, so just take a breath or adjust your body, because we're going to go to the Texas Capitol together right now. If you have been there with the Texas UU Justice Ministry before, I invite you to go there in your memory. If you've never been with us before, I invite you to envision going, or envision inviting others to go on your behalf and you joining us virtually. It is a beautiful morning, and the sun is rising. You go for your cup of coffee and your yellow shirt. Today, you are putting your faith in action. You go to San Gabriel UU Fellowship to meet your friends in the parking lot. We are carpooling to the Capitol together today. No one loves I-35, so it's not going to be our favorite part of the meditation, but we go. The conversation is rich and good, and there is laughter on the way. When you arrive at the Capitol, blessed be, there is ample parking for you. The grass is green. I love the grass at the Texas Capitol. As a child, I remember rolling down the hills for fun. You go with your friends. You have your San Gabriel banner and your Texas UU Justice Ministry banner. As you walk up, you take in the trees. What a blessing to live so close to our house, our capital, to be able to go together. As you enter, you go through the metal detector. This is a moment of some feelings about law enforcement, about safety. You take a breath as you pass through. The Capitol is buzzing. It is buzzing with the spirit of democracy. Another one of the parts of our UU principles that I will never, ever take for granted again. Not after January 6th, not after so many things. You see school groups, you see people whose jobs, whose lives are devoted to representing us. You steel yourself because you're going to have to talk to people about your values, about what we want from our politicians. It is not easy work to hold people accountable. As you go through the Capitol, it is a maze, it is confusing. I have never gotten used to it, even when I worked as a legislative editor for the Texas legislature. I don't think I ever stopped telling the hallways by the paintings. So you find your way eventually. You ask someone if you have to. You look for those yellow shirts. And then we gather together. It is a beautiful thing to be in community with hundreds of other Unitarian Universalists who care as deeply about justice as you do, in their own way. From El Paso, from Brownsville, from Dallas, from Denton, from Austin, Houston, all around this glorious state that is ours to fight for. We hug. We might be masked this year. Maybe next year, I don't know for how long, but we hug. And it is so good to be together in this work. And we sing this song together in the rotunda. I woke up this morning with my mind, and it was stayed on freedom. I woke up this morning with my mind, and it was stayed on freedom. I woke up this morning with my mind, and it was stayed on freedom. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. You sound so beautiful. I woke up this morning with my mind, and it was stayed on justice. I woke up this morning with my mind, and it was stayed on justice. I woke up this morning with my mind, and it was stayed on justice. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. Amen. I can see us there. And I know that even in this room, we may not agree on everything, and that is okay. I can see us there together, and I know what each and every one of you is capable of, and I know how much we are capable of together. And I'm so grateful for the chance to serve in this way with you. So grateful. Now that we've gone there, now that we're there together in our hearts and our spirits, I will tell you just a little bit about what's coming up for your Texas Unitarian Universalist Justice Ministry, and then I will leave you with some closing words from Reverend Chuck to pass along to you. We have big plans. That's the short version. So the Texas UU Justice Ministry is one of about 25 state UU Justice Ministries. Not every state has one. Some of them are big, thriving, with several full-time staff members, a lot of funding that they've built up over the years. Some are just getting started. A dear friend is just getting the South Carolina one started, and then there's the spectrum of everything in between. We are going to celebrate 10 years of our organization this year, which I'm so excited about. We're going to honor Reverend Chuck as the Emeritus Minister and Executive Director and just celebrate all of his work. And we are going to look at the other state justice ministries that are doing so well and what they have done in the last few years. I have been just living on Zoom calls with my colleagues and other folks and learning and just soaking up what they've been doing that's working. And everyone is so generous. We believe in justice work in a spirit of abundance. So we are sharing our plans. We are sharing our grant reports. We are working together because it is in absolutely everyone's interest that the Texas UU Justice Ministry be thriving, strong, robust. As things go in Texas, so often go the nation and beyond. And we want to be exporting justice to folks, not the other way around. So our colleagues in this work are being very helpful. I feel very supported and very excited about what we're working on. So we're writing grants. We're looking at our Get Out the Vote organizing, obviously, this year. We're teaming up with the Side with Love organizing team at the UUA around trainings, around support. I have been able to speak to folks at the national level, and next week we'll be speaking with UUs for Social Justice, which is our DC organizing group, alongside Representative Donna Howard, one of our UU state reps. So there's a lot of opportunity right now for our voices to be heard in the national sphere, and we're getting a lot of support back, which is really great. We have just signed on with something called Build Back Fossil Free, demanding support from President Biden on this initiative, and I'm going to be sending that to your church for your consideration. We're asking not just the Justice Ministry itself around the country, but the congregations are invited to sign, so look for that in your inbox shortly. We are moving to, we've been doing monthly Zoom action hours where you get together, we check in, maybe we sing a song, maybe we share a poem, and then we do the things. We call, we send emails, we write letters, we do specific doable actions in a period of time together. We want to be action oriented. We're not going to wait until we're going together to the Capitol. That is a piece of it. It's an inspirational piece, but we are going to be doing actions together on a weekly basis. So you don't have to come every week, but anytime you can come over Zoom, we will love to see you. And so the way to stay in touch about all the actions that we're gathering and doing is through our newsletter, which you can receive via txuujm.org, and I know you'll be seeing that up there, as well as our Facebook page and our new Facebook group. So I'm going to be asking Lou, your advisory council person, to invite you to that group when we're ready, which will be very soon. And that will also be a place, I'm sorry if I'm cracking this, that will also be a place for you to share what actions in your community you would like support on. If you read an article that you find is very informative, if you find a song that is getting you through, this group is going to be a place of mutual sharing. This is your justice ministry, not just the person who's the staff or the folks who are in the leadership roles. It is for all of us. So that group is going to be a place for you to share as well. Let's see. Those are some of the things I really want you to know about. Yeah, I covered it. That never happens to me. I think I was just really excited to be here, and I really did cover it. I want to ask you again to think of justice work not as drudgery, but as a joy practice. It means we are alive and breathing. It is always going to be a thing to do. So we know that the circumstances are hard, but we will not let despair win, and we will take action together in love, in joy. And we will think of it as a legacy that we're leaving to the next generation, each of us. I think about what I'm modeling for my kids, what I'm inviting them into, and what I'm showing my mom that she's taught me to do. I'm going to be here for any questions that you have. You can always reach me by email. The other thing I just want you to know is that as I am new in this role, I am here for your input, for your ideas, for your feedback, for your questions. I welcome it. I want to be in this with all of you. It is just such a great joy to know that we are in this together. So I'll close with words from Reverend Chuck, who is still in this earthly plane with us, and I hope resting and taking good care and feeling our love. When I saw him in person in November, I asked what message to pass along, and he said, just send them my love and tell them, I said, stay strong, keep up the fight. And I wasn't going to push him to talk more in that time in the hospital, so I went back and I watched one of his sermons from last year, because I want to tell you a little bit more of what he had to say. Reverend Chuck Freeman says, look at what happened in the last election in Arizona and Georgia. This wasn't a flash in the pan. This was the result of a decade or more of grassroots organizing. And Texas is on this path if we keep doing our work, and we will. The future will be determined by those who are focused, centered, organized, and mobilized for the values they hold dear. That will be us. The politically impossible will become the politically inevitable. I need you to believe it. I tell you, I believe it. And we are going to make it happen. Thank you so much for sharing Side with Love Sunday with me and the Texas UU Justice Ministry. Thank you. All right, in that spirit, I invite us to enjoy riding the Freedom Trail for our closing music. Ready, I believe. just want to say amen to reading your newsletter as the person who does the TechSujum newsletter. Lots of good stuff in your church newsletters. I enjoy reading them myself, and I look to them for some of what we're sharing. So, we have some events coming up for you. This Tuesday from 7 to 8 p.m., that's the 15th, we have our monthly Texas Power Hour for Democracy, which is continuing to focus on school boards and electoral power. We know that so much goes on there. So I encourage you to check that out. All of these things are in the TechSujum newsletter, which Lou, Michelle, myself can forward you if you're not getting yet, and I'm also sending as blurbs to your own church newsletter. There's also on Thursday the 27th a voter engagement training out of Horizon UU in Carrollton, which you can attend over Zoom and are all invited. You may also attend on the 17th the talk that Donna Howard and I are giving to the UUs for social justice. That's also that evening, the 17th. Again, all of this is in our newsletter. And then lastly, you have Widening the Circle as your theme. On Thursday, February 25th at 7 p.m., there's a Widening the Circle webinar about the roots of white supremacy from African American history perspectives that the North Texas UU congregations are putting on. It's going to be moderated by one of our TechSujum Advisory Council members, and as always, everyone is invited. And so that's one of the beautiful things, again, about Zoom, is that we can be part of our hometown church communities and be invited into something bigger around the state. Lastly, I would be a bad executive director if I didn't say this. Number one, thank you again for the generosity that I know you're giving in the Share the Plate. We appreciate it so much. The biggest challenge I feel lately in a justice organization is weighing, for me as the one staff member, part-time, how much energy I spend toward fundraising versus the justice actions of the mission that I really want to be doing and the foundational organizational work that needs to happen to build a thriving organization. So every bit of financial contribution that you give makes it so much more possible for me to focus on the justice work and the building of this very needed organization. So with that, I'll just add that there's information on our website about sustaining givers, which is monthly giving, as well as legacy and planned giving. And I'm always happy to talk about that because, again, every ounce that I don't have to think about the money, I can work on the justice. So thank you so much.
I know that we have information about the Texas Legislature State of Our U.S. Democracy event on a closing slide. Is information available on those other events on the website?
Everything is on the Facebook page and our newsletter.
Okay, great. Thank you so much. All right, we have an announcement from Keith Hutchinson.
Just wanted to let everyone know about a couple of Black History Month events that are happening. One is an art exhibit at the Georgetown Public Library. It's in the lobby, and there is actually a reception for the artists that's today from 2 to 4 p.m. And so there'll be a panel of speakers, African-American artists from the community that have their work on exhibit, so you can go to that today from 2 to 4. That work will be on exhibit through the end of February, and so be sure to check that out. And then also, these are both events that are sponsored by the Georgetown Cultural Citizen Memorial Association in collaboration with the city, that first one. The second one is a virtual panel on February 19th, sponsored by GCCMA. And the panel is February 19th at noon. The discussion topic is Black Health, Mind, Body, and Soul, featuring Dr. Angela Eklund, who is a pastoral counselor, and Debbie Sims and parent advocate Tanya Easton. So that's an online event. So be sure to check out those events as we in the EU celebrate Black History Month all the month of February. Thanks.
Thank you, Keith. All right, our next live-streamed in-person service is scheduled in 2 weeks, February 27th, And this will be a service presented by our new contract minister, Jamie Yandel. So make sure you sign up. And remember, if you would like to share your gratitudes, joys, and concerns, please remain seated after the closing slides and announcements have finished. We close our service today using the words of Tom Shade to extinguish our chalice. My friends, there is power at work in the universe. It works through human hands, but it is not made by human hands. It is a creative, sustaining, and transforming power, and we can trust that power with our lives and with our ministries. It will sustain us whenever we take a stand on the side of love, whenever we take a stand for peace and justice, whenever we take a risk. Trust in that power. We are together held by that power.
There is more love somewhere. There is more love somewhere. I'm gonna keep on till I find it. There is more love somewhere. There is more hope somewhere. There is more hope somewhere. I'm gonna keep on till I find it. There is more hope somewhere. There is more peace somewhere. There is more peace somewhere. I'm gonna keep on till I find it. There is more peace somewhere. There is more joy somewhere. There is more joy somewhere. I'm gonna keep on till I find it. There is more joy somewhere. There is more love somewhere. There is more love somewhere. I'm gonna keep on till I find it. There is more love somewhere. There is more hope somewhere. There is more hope somewhere. I'm gonna keep on till I find it. There is more hope somewhere. There